Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We have just vassalized Oman. How much longer are we in a truce with Egypt? Oh, we'll be done with our truce with Egypt very soon. Wonderful. So at that point, we'll go ahead and take over Hejaz. Because our truce with Hejaz will be done in the same amount of time. So this is October 6th. Very good. Continuing to expand the bureaucracy, I'm going to pull these other government admins up above the navies. For now, we are going to do those navies because that that organization penalty is... Oh! We have a new sultan. Our previous sultan, Mahmud Osmanoglu, has passed away, and the Ottoman crown is now held by Abdulmejid I Osmanoglu. This has dramatically impacted our authority. So let's go ahead and cut taxes. I think I'm going to stick with the one on... I think I'm going to tolerate this penalty here. Because I don't want to lose the coffee consumption tax. There is a movement to preserve national supremacy, but I think we've got a good shot here with racial segregation. Can we get... Is there an interest group that would help me out here? No. That's okay. Gosh, these ones in Egypt are going really, really slowly. But that's okay, I can live with that. Still got a pretty low literacy rate, which I don't love, but once we hit racial segregation, we should be able to get some schools going here. I might try and pull the industrialists into the government. We'll see how that goes. Mystery customers not wanted. Some shopkeepers have expressed opposition to the equal treatment of mystery people. That's like Egyptians. That generally means Egyptian people. Yeah, here we go. Yes, the population of these areas in Egypt. The sort of urban Nile, Egypt. Of mystery people under the racial segregation law, announcing they will refuse them service. It's easy for these politicians to draft their plans for equality and brotherhood, but I have a business to run. If I start letting in the mystery, I'll lose half my customers. They're not bigots, you see, just good Turkish people who are used to things being done a certain way around here, and we'll keep doing things that way. Such discrimination is unacceptable. This gives us minus 10% enactment chance, and makes 10% of shopkeepers more radical, or they can do what they want with their own business. This reduces enactment chance by 20%. Okay, well, we're going with the first one. That's going to get enactment chance down to 1%. Let's see how that impacts things. Prussia? What? I don't... Give me... Stop trying to steal my iron. Survey the Suez Isthmus. It's only going to cost me 1,000 bureaucracy. Alright, Hejaz. It's actually quite a bit of infamy, but we're at 0 infamy right now, so that's okay. Conquer. And we're going to add the other state as primary war goal. Once again, Britain will potentially stand with us, but Hejaz doesn't have much of an army, so we'll just grab our one of our main armies here. We'll pop that on the front, and we'll let that go where it's going to go. Egypt is probably going to stand against us here, but if they do... Oh, no, they're not going to stand against us because they're our protectorate. We're protecting them. We're protecting Egypt. I can go ahead and improve relations with Egypt by a little bit. They're very hostile towards us. I wonder if that forced vassalization has anything to do with it. Excellent. We're very near Central Archives. That is going to significantly increase the cost of our government buildings, but... Although we're actually doing really okay for... I do have tax waste. Particularly a bunch in Lower Egypt due to the... thing. Due to the problems. Oh my gosh, this guy's got a legitimacy debuff. Why do I have so much tax waste? Thieves and Liars. The movement to preserve national supremacy has begun a propaganda campaign painting Bedouin people as criminals who will be allowed to run rampant under the new racial segregation law. Yes, I've read the pamphlet. It's nothing new. The Bedouin are thieves, the Bedouin are violent thugs, the Bedouin culture is inherently corrupt, and desegregation will be the end of the Ottoman Empire. The picture of a Bedouin man in rags, vaguely resembling my father. Has it ever crossed their minds the reason so many of us live in poverty is because the current laws force us there? We must take a stand against these vile lies. This costs us authority, but increases enactment chance. Or let them whinge. This reduces enactment chance and makes the movement to preserve national supremacy stronger. I'm going to do the first one. I will have to sacrifice a consumption tax in order to make that happen, but it's necessary. I really want that, that enactment chance. Very slowly we're eating into this shortfall of bureaucracy, but we need to get it going up because that was curious. I wonder what that other one was. France wants a defensive pact? Okay, France, we'll have a defensive pact. You'll help me fight my own landowners in a minute. Because this homesteading thing has got to go. We got to get homesteading done. We got to get homesteading knocked out. That's going to be a big investment. I don't know how much... I'm hoping we can get Oman involved. Police brutality. The use of extreme force is becoming increasingly common among police officers in Albania. The working class and the socially conscious are rallying against the police as an institution. Scarcely a week passes without their committing some offense which disgusts everybody but the magistrates. Boys are bruised by their ferocity. War with Hejaz has broken out. That was probably the police. Police action has broken out in Hejaz. Boys are bruised by their ferocity, women insulted by their ruffianism, and that which brutality has done, perjury denies, and magisterial stupidity suffers to go unpunished. Police brutality is becoming one of our most venerated institutions. We cannot tolerate this behavior. This reduces it, or the use of force is warranted. This makes armed forces and petite bourgeois stronger. I'm going to go with the first one. We're going to need to take some time before we put it back up. But we are going to put it back up because we're building new government administrations. It's going to be about 300 per level, so once we are at an excess of 300, we should be good to go. We are winning our battles here, so we should have Hejaz thoroughly occupied within a short amount of time. On the plus side, our finances are doing a lot better. I'm not sure exactly why, but I'm pleased about it. We also need to keep some bureaucracy for incorporating new states in Hejaz. I have to say, I really like the new front system. I think having fronts be between states, oh, for Pete's sake. I think having fronts be between states is really good. I think it makes a lot more sense. And it makes the whole sort of interface cleaner and easier to navigate. Ooh, diplomatic ties with Great Chain. Wonderful. Is my army here in the zone yet? Yes. They're over here. Ah, I see. They're at the other end of the state. Alright, so we've got Hejaz fully occupied. I believe. Yes. Alright. Excellent. And there's Central Archives. So this will give us a boatload more infamy. Sorry. Little slip of the tongue there. Development. It's in development. It's going to cost us a lot of money. Let's dial it back with a few of these, and then we'll do it. We'll switch a few. We'll do the main ones in Eastern Thrace. And that'll give us plenty of bureaucracy to play with. Let's queue in... Well, we've already got more paper mills queued in to support our paper habit. So that should be good to go. Hey, you want to be conquered? You ready to be conquered yet? Well, they'll sort themselves out pretty soon. Wonderful. Let's get incorporating those. And that's also part of Yemen. Alright, so the only part of Yemen that we don't hold is the part that's held by the Tanzimat state. Though we actually do have a certain amount of infamy now. Law proposal causes uproar in Armenian communities, claiming the enactment of racial segregation would affect the country's Armenian inhabitants in a disproportionately negative way. Armenian firebrands have riled their communities against the current law proposal. So, Armenian cultural traits are European heritage and Caucasian, so you wouldn't be affected either way. Give them a finger and they will cry for an arm. Give them an arm and before you know it, they will weaponize the arm, batter you all you know to death with it, and pilfer their corpses for even more concessions. And this concerns us how? Force the issue through. Loss of bureaucracy, Armenian pops in Erzurum become more radical. Make some token amends, small notable radical pops. Or acknowledge and address their concerns, reduces enactment chance, get Armenian loyalist pops. I'm going to go with the first one. Gotta get that enactment chance. Sorry, Armenians, your status is going to not change. That's just the way it is. Our finances seem to be mostly okay. Oh, let's correct production methods. We got a lot of turmoil in Yemen. I know I queued in those railways a long time ago and basically not completed them, but, you know, we're doing our best here. We're still not constructing as fast as I would like to be, but on the other hand, expanding the bureaucracy is a serious need. Let's... Do we have anywhere else we've stacked up a bunch? We got a bunch in Lower Egypt. Let's do it. So that significantly impacted the price of paper, but that's okay, because we're going to be building up a bunch of paper mills. And that gives us a little bit of leeway to increase law enforcement investment further, and that's going to be very important for keeping things orderly and chill in the future. There's another revolt happening in San Marco. Okay, so the Austrian uprising, what's going on with you? What are you about? Ludwig von Hohenberg, and then Austria is... Ooh, we got to consideration on a 10%. Very nice. Is Franz Josef von Habsburg. Well, you're quite young. I think this guy... I think this is the historical Franz Josef von Habsburg. I don't know if it's Joseph or Joseph, but I should know, but I don't. This guy is... I think Franz Joseph II is the person I'm thinking of, because this guy's 33, and it's December of 1863, and, well, it might be. He might be the guy. So he's the guy who loses the Austrian Empire. He's the guy who's in command at the beginning of World War I, and I think it's that particular dude. That dude in particular. Finances are doing well. We're still in the black. Still pretty short on authority, but minus 50 from unity campaigns, so that should go away. And minus 10% from organized crime, that should go away as well. Yeah, so organized crime is not going to be around much longer, and then working against the system. So, reducing Egyptian autonomy would only cost us 3.4 infamy. We're at 8.3 right now. Can I risk going above 10? I think so. This is an internal Ottoman issue. Ooh, we got to adoption. That's very lucky. Oh, and Egypt accepted. They're our dominion now. Wonderful. That's excellent. Wonder if these guys would Ugh, the possibilities. So that has significantly improved our finances by getting us some diplomatic pact income. What about you, Tunis? How would you like to be, like to have reduced autonomy? Well, hold up. Okay, so we still did get the infamy from that. So we're gonna continue to wait, and this. So they are now rebellious, but we are improving relations, and we do have a truce with them. All right, excellent. Tripolitania is already a puppet. I don't necessarily want everyone as puppets, although I might end up grabbing the whole South African coast. Sorry, the whole North African coast. We'll see. What I should have said was the whole southern Mediterranean coast, because that's really the region we're talking about here. Getting those coal mines done, getting those paper mills built. Everything's going the way we hope it'll go. Rifling. Excellent. So I'm just going to go ahead and enable the rifling method for our arms industries. There's a stall. That's going to give us a setback. And rifling has been completed. Modernizing the arsenal. The change in large-scale production from smoothbore muskets to rifles in the arms industries in Bosnia has ushered in a new era for small arms production in the Ottoman Empire. Even from 1,000 yards, you can still take the shot. Forward artillery positions can be harassed. Bayonet charges stopped before they've even commenced. The advantages are innumerable. Unless we develop sufficient manufacturing capabilities to produce these weapons, we are bound to face disaster on the battlefield. The Sarajevo arsenal shall be famed throughout the world. This gives extra migration attraction and throughput in Bosnia. Or, the Ottoman Empire shall be at the forefront of military innovation. This gives us smaller versions of those other bonuses, but it gives us 4.15k progress on repeaters, which we've got spreading to us. So let's go ahead and do it. And I think that might... I don't know, it's not going to complete repeaters, but it's going to get them. Legislative failures. Despite many efforts on the part of the government to successfully revive racial segregation from its present imbroglio, the law is going to be regarded as nothing but an inevitable failure. That bill, please don't talk to me about it. I would say it's better to just pretend it never happened, don't you agree? Certainly, that won't stop that fool from asking about it every day. This gives us one setback, it removes all of the modifiers, and gets us back going at 10%. Incidentally, that does let us do a consumption tax again. There's law enforcement going up. That is what we want. We completed the incorporation of Yemen. Great Britain claims Sinai. Great Britain, what is going on with you? We're friends. How could you do this? I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Well, that's okay. It's not a big deal. Thirsty for territory. Let's go ahead and tell this guy to go. I should hopefully get rid of this movement. I don't think that movement's gonna present opportunities for us. I think it's just gonna be a problem. I think once we finish with racial segregation, it's going to be time to go towards separation of church and state. We're going to go to freedom of conscience to start. And what that's going to do is, number one, it's going to allow us to start accepting Shia people, which is going to be very important. It is also going to allow us to move to secular production methods for our universities and government administrations, and that is going to be very, very important to the long-term health of the country, what with us depending so strongly on the intelligentsia. In other news, we have an imperial prince, Kemaluddin Osmanoglu. He is a child. He is 2. But he does align with the intelligentsia, and he's a land reformer. Interesting. Political movement to enact homesteading has completed. Law debate success. So, currently standard of living is a little bit stagnant. And that's not ideal. We have a bunch of motor industries, but none of them are producing motors because we don't hardly have any railways. But that'll change. We're working on changing that just as soon as we get paper mills expanded to the point where the government isn't spending all of its money on paper. Steel is also a big deal. Oh, because now the arms industries are using it because of the rifling method. Well, the private sector is working on that, so that should be just fine. Interesting. So this uses... Oh, because a lot of things use engines instead of transportation now, because transportation is a local thing, whereas engines are empire-wide. That's why that's happening. Let's go ahead and do this. That's going to make those more profitable as well, and it's going to generate a bunch of transportation for our people, which will hopefully be good. We can definitely export some of this sugar. You know you want my sugar. Let's see what else we can export. We can export fabric. Britain will eat fabric. Russia will eat fabric. France will eat fabric. Let them eat fabric. We're still good on hardwoods. Hey, we got racial segregation. That's wonderful. Oh my goodness, I'm extremely pleased. So, I think we need to hold off on doing state religion, though, because we need to, the Sunni ulema are going to raise absolute heck if we switch over too soon. Russia. You and I, we have had problems in the past, but I don't know why you're trying to make more problems in the future. That said, I think it's time for the end of the episode. We'll pick it up next time. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you all on the other side.